Have you ever walked into a store that just smelled good and felt good and looked good and just felt like a hug? Hello, my darling. So here we are in the run-up to the holidays, and this is the time of year where I get really anxious about overconsumption and all trash that ends up in landfills and all of this, because all the stores are like packed with stuff and people are buying like big mounds of stuff. I was just at a big box store last weekend, and there were people with carts, and they were piled high with Christmas decorations, brand new, Christmas decorations. And I was thinking how all this stuff ends up in the landfill or at the thrift shop. So if you are going to buy some Christmas items, I implore you to go check out the charity shop, check out the thrift shops, check out the secondhand, because this stuff does not go away once it's made. So it's still around. Anywho, I was looking for some Christmas inspiration, some inspiration for the holidays, decorating my house, some projects to make. And so I decided to go to one of my favorite stores around the holidays, which is Terrain. Now, Terrain is a store. It's like a garden store, home store kind of thing. And it's owned by the people that own Anthropologie. So it's really well done, very, very beautifully decorated. It smells nice. It looks nice. It's just very, very posh. So I went to Terrain, and I just wanted to share with you some of the things that I saw while I was there. I was looking for trends. I was looking at colors. I was looking at the way they do the displays, just to get ideas for my own decorating and for some projects that we're going to do in the next month. So, yeah. So I'm going to talk about some of the things I saw at the high-end store at Terrain. And some of the things that the equivalents or the things that inspired me when I went to the thrift shop. So the first thing I noticed when I walked into Terrain was there was a couple themes, general themes. The first one I noticed was pine cones. There were pine cones everywhere. Everything had pine cones. There are pine cones in pots. There are pine cone ornaments. There are big pine cones, small pine cones, bags of pine cones. There were wreaths with pine cones. So I was just like, all right, pine cones, good. And they were selling them for quite a bit of money, but really, you can find pine cones around your own neighborhood. They fall from trees. So I found this bag of pine cones. Ooh, that was $3. And I bought it because I wanted to show that normally I would just pick up pine cones. I would go out and look for them and pick them up. But sometimes you don't have time for that. Sometimes you just don't have pine trees near you. So one thing you can do is you can look at the thrift shop. A lot of them have them. But also, I think they also sell them in like the grocery store around this time of year in the winter. Sometimes they're scented with cinnamon. I did find one of these. This is from the thrift shop, but they do sell these in the grocery store. It's like $6 or $7. This one I paid $3.50 for. Smells like cinnamon. Oh, it smells so good. But these, you could put them in pots. You can make wreaths out of them. You could just use them for decorating packages. There's so many possibilities. All right, next thing, pastels. It was all about pastels. There are pastel ornaments, candles, color lights, just a lot of pastels. When I went to the thrift shop and I was looking for pastel ornaments, of course, you never find exactly what you want, right? But I did find some clear ornaments, which are very easy to add paint to. Swirl around the paint, and then you've got a color for your ornament. So we're going to turn these into some pastel ornaments. So I got these larger bulbs, $2.50. And I also, when I went to the big box store, I got some smaller ones. I'm going to be using these on a tinsel garland project. So we're going to color these all different pastel colors and then add them to the garland. Next, so there were a ton of really beautiful glass ornaments. And, you know, when you go shopping at the thrift shop or secondhand, you have to keep an open mind. So what I saw was all these beautiful glass ornaments. Some of them were sweet treats, desserts. There was lots of mushrooms. There was all kinds of specialty items. So when you're out shopping, keep an eye out for things that catch your interest, things that match your home, things that match your personality. So I did find this little ice cream cone ornament. There it is. There it is. Anyway, it's very cute. Brand new in the box, $3.50 at the thrift. So it was originally $7 at the TJ Maxx. I found a pine cone ornament. Now they were selling bunches of these at Terrain for a lot of money, but I found one silver one. Just a nod to the pine cone trend. Now, bottle brush trees have been around for a while, and they've been popular, and they've been gaining popularity, and they're still there. So I did see lots of bottle brush trees at Terrain, so I did pick up a couple of those. I found this cute little one, $2, and even has some of the pastel color balls on it. And I picked up a couple others at the thrift. These were $2 and $3. And I got a couple little ones. So I'm going to be talking about dioramas in a minute. So little bottle brush trees. And also, while you're looking for trees, you can also look for little wreaths. You can use these to decorate so many things that are cute, especially on the smaller miniature scale. Another trend, very popular, tinsel. I have used tinsel on my Christmas trees for years, like years and years and years, longer than I want to admit. We always used it as a kid, so it's always a nostalgic thing for me. It's messy. It's really not eco-friendly or sustainable. What I usually do is I buy tinsel secondhand and I use it on my tree. Then I gather it all back up and I use it for some other project. I make it into confetti. I cut it up. Anyway, I save it for other projects. I use it for art projects or whatever. But a good place to get the tinsel is at your secondhand store. And I did find this really fancy tinsel, which is like a little, it's like a little folded tinsel. It's really gorgeous gold. You never know what you're going to find. So keep an open mind. And have a list if you can, if you're going to the thrift shop and there's things you want to look for. So I had tinsel, that was on my list. Then I saw these beautiful silver goblets that had candles in them. So I picked up a silver goblet. This one's not as nice as the one in the store, but I thought it would make a good project. We can make a candle in this. The other thing I saw related to the bottle brush trees was saw a bunch of dioramas, and one was in a cloche, and this is what a cloche is. It's a little glass kind of dome thing on a base. This one has a clock in it. I have a feeling the clock's broken, so I'm going to take that out and we're going to make this a little diorama, a little Christmas diorama with some little bottle brush trees and maybe some little figures and some fake snow. In addition to all the pine cones, there were also a lot of natural materials at this store. There were wreaths with natural decorations and lots of dried flowers. So I did manage to find some dried flowers. They smell good. They still smell good. Again, this is something that I'm going to think about this all year, because what I want to do in the summer is I'll plant some of these flowers and dry them myself, and then I'll have them to use in crafts. But for now, I'm just going to use these. Saw these little dried flower wreaths, so I got these two little wreaths that are little vine wreaths, and they've got silk flowers on them. I'll be doing a project with these, taking the silk flowers off and adding some dried flowers and seeing how close I can get to the Anthropologie wreath. All right, linens and tea towels. So they had napkins in these gorgeous place settings in rings, and one of the things they used the dried flower wreath for was for the napkin. And there were these beautiful holiday napkins, and of course I'm thinking to myself, well, I can make that. So I have this old tablecloth. It's an old holiday tablecloth. There are stains on it, so it's not really useful as a tablecloth anymore, but it would be great for making napkins or placemats or even a tea towel. So I also got this piece of fabric. So we're going to make some tea towels and napkins out of these, maybe some little cocktail napkins for the holidays. And they'll be reusable, so we can use them year after year. Candles. Okay, I have a confession. I have a candle problem. I love candles. I have a hard time passing up buying candles at the thrift shop. So of course I bought some candles. I was inspired by this little bag, candy color candles. So for $4, I got pink, these fancy yellow ones. These are trending, this sort of twisted taper candle. If you see candles with any kind of like odd shape or something unusual, grab it. So I got a couple of these, a couple very kind of dusty blue, and a couple of these little weird shapes, like little pears or something. I don't know. They're cute. This came with some white ones. I can use these for my goblet project. So for $2, I got this bag of 4 purple candles. This one's kind of fancy. It's got a little bit of an ombre effect. But these are really like a different color to have around for holidays. And I think one thing to keep in mind is you don't have to stick to the regular holiday colors. If you have like a pink theme in your house, you could make a display including the color pink. You could use the regular red and green colors. If your house is more cool colors like greens and blues, you could use those. It's really up to you to own it and make it yours. Someday I'll show you all my candle drawer. A lot of times when you go into stores, you'll see a display like on a mantle or something. Very popular for the holidays is little villages or little houses. At Terrain, they had wire like bird cages with little tiny wreaths on them and little dioramas inside. Using that as inspiration, I found a couple of these little bird cages. Now these aren't as big as the ones in the store, and I did that on purpose because I don't have a lot of room to store things. So I wanted something that was smaller in scale. So I picked these. I got 3 of them, and they're 3 different sizes. And what I'm going to do with these is that I'm going to have a project where I paint these to look like galvanized metal, and then we're going to decorate them with tiny wreaths and put some stuff inside them for a diorama, and this will go on my mantle. So check out that video coming soon. Part of my mantle display will also be this little galvanized house. I just found this at the thrift shop. You can find black ones that are left over from Halloween and just paint them like this galvanized color, or you could use ceramic houses. I actually have a video on painting old ceramic houses to suit your own taste. All right, just a couple more things. I am going to do a tutorial for a tinsel garland with balls on it, but I did find 2 tinsel garlands at the thrift shop. This one has little packages on it. It's got like a wire. That was $1. This one has little balls tied to it. So you could just hang that up like that. I'm going to show you how to make one with regular tinsel and plastic balls. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss those videos. I also did a little bit of Christmas shopping while I was there. I found a gift for my little granddaughter. It's this little music box. It plays Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It's not new. It's not that good. It's a little bit banged up, but it's okay because I know she's probably not going to be very careful with it, which is totally fine. But for $2, I know she's going to get a big kick out of this. For my little grandson, I found this little Hot Wheels car. It was $1, brand new in the package. Yeah, there's some tape on it, but he's not going to care. He loves his Hot Wheels. All right, so I'm going to finish up with the I only bought 2 things when I went to Terrain, and I'm going to finish up with those. One thing I got that another thing I cannot turn down is anything that smells like fir or pine or cedar trees. It's just my favorite, oh my gosh, my favorite scent in the world. So I bought this soap. That's just for me. And I did buy one of these tinsel trees that they had because I wanted to see if I could make it. I don't know. I'm sure I can make some version of this. So be on the lookout for that project also. So there you go, my friend. I think the point is take inspiration from those expensive, fancy displays at the store. Use what you have, change it up, switch it up, make it your own. It doesn't have to look like it's a store display. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It doesn't have to be new. It doesn't have to be something that you're going to buy and throw out later. It can be something that you keep and repurpose and use year after year. All right, well, I hope you like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for those tutorials coming up, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.